اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Uqba ibn Amir al-Juhani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when a person performs a proper ablution and offers 2 rakats of salah with his heart directed towards salah and his body at rest, paradise most certainly becomes obligatory for him. Mentioned by Abu Dawud. Jabir radiyallahu ta'ala anhu narrates, a man came to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, O Messenger of Allah, which salah is the most superior? He replied, the salah in which the standing posture is long. Mentioned by Ibn Hibban. Mughira radiyallahu ta'ala anhu narrates, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stood in salah for such a long time that his feet became swollen. Someone asked him, Allah forgive all your past and future sins. For example, even if you have any sins, why then do you bear such pain? He replied, should I not be a grateful servant? Mentioned by Bukhari. Ammar ibn Yasir radiyallahu ta'ala anhu narrates, I heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, a person completes his salah and only 1/10 of its reward is recorded in his favor. In like manner, for some 1/9 is recorded, 1/8, 1/7, 1/6, 1/5, 1/4, 1/3 and half. Mentioned by Abu Dawud. Note, this hadith means that the closer the external and internal condition of the salah is in accordance with the sunnah, the more the reward a person receives. Al-Fazl ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, offer salah in units of 2 rakats in such a way that you read the tashahhud at the end of every 2 rakats. Display humility, submissiveness and peace of mind in salah. Upon completing the salah, raise your hands in supplication to your sustainer in such a way that the palms are in line with your face. Then say, O my sustainer, 3 times. The person who does not do this, then his salah will be deficient. As regards reward. Mentioned by Ahmed. Abu Dharr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu remains attentive towards a person's salah as long as he does not turn his attention to anything else in salah. When the person turns his attention away from salah, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu also turns his attention away from the person. Mentioned by Nasa'i. Huzaifa radiyallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when a person stands up to offer salah, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu turns his full attention towards him until he completes his salah or he does something in salah which negates humility in salah. Mentioned by Ibn Majah. Abu Dharr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when any of you stand up for salah, he should not touch any bubbles unnecessarily, because the special mercy of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu is directed towards him at that time. Mentioned by Tirmidhi. Note, in the beginning of Islam, bubbles used to be laid down to demarcate the rows. At times, a bubble would get turned over and thus make it difficult to perform the prostration. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam prohibited moving the bubbles repeatedly because the mercy of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu is directed at that time. If a person occupies himself in moving the bubbles or in any other similar act, he will be deprived of the mercy of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. Samura radiyallahu ta'ala anhu narrates, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to order us that when we raise our heads from prostration in salah, we must sit with ease on the ground, and we should not sit uncomfortably on our heels. Mentioned by Tabarani. When death approached Abu Darda radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he said, I am narrating a hadith which I heard from the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, worship Allah Jalla Jalaluhu as though you see Him. If you are unable to do this, then have this in mind, that He is watching you. Consider yourself among the dead. do not consider yourself among the living. If you are able to do this, you will neither be happy over anything nor saddened by anything. Beware of the supplication of the oppressed, because it is most certainly accepted. If any of you is able to offer the Isha and Fajr Salahs with congregation, he must do so, even if it means having to drag himself on the ground in order to attend the congregation. Mentioned by Tabarani. Ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, offer the salah like the person who is bidding farewell to everybody. In other words, like the person who feels that this is the last salah of his life. Offer salah as though you can see Allah. If you cannot develop this condition, have this in mind that He is watching you. Mentioned by Jami' al-Saghir. Abdullah radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates, we used to offer the salam greeting to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam while he was in salah, and he would reply to us. When we returned from a Najashi, we offered him the salam as was our previous practice, but he did not reply to us. We said, O Messenger of Allah, we used to offer you the salam while you were in salah, and you used to reply to us, but now you are not doing so. He said, one must remain devoted to salah alone. Mentioned by Muslim. Abdullah radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates, I saw the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam offering salah, and the sound of crying was emanating from his chest, similar to a sound of grinding stone. Mentioned by Abu Dawud. Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the similitude of the compulsory first salah is like that of a scale. The person who offers the salah completely shall receive the reward in full. Mentioned by Bayhaqi. Usman ibn Abi Darish radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu does not accept a deed from a person unless he makes his heart attentive together with his body. Mentioned by Ittihaf. Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, there are three parts to salah. For example, the full reward of salah is obtained by fulfilling these three parts. Acquiring purity is 1/3. The ruku, bowing posture, is 1/3. And the prostration is 1/3. The person who offers the salah while fulfilling its due etiquette in salah, his salah is accepted, and all his deeds are also accepted. The person whose salah is not accepted because of not offering it in the proper manner, all his other deeds are also not accepted. Mentioned by Bazzar. Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam led us in the Asr salah. Thereafter, he saw a person offering salah. So he said, O such and such person, fear Allah, offer your salah in a proper manner. Do you think I cannot see you? I can see things behind me just as I see things in front of me. Offer your salah in a proper manner and carry out the bowing and prostrating postures completely. Note, the Messenger's sallallahu alaihi wasallam ability to see behind him is from among his miracles. While Ibn Hijr radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates, when the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in the bowing posture, ruku, he would keep his fingers apart. When he was in prostration, he would keep his fingers together. Mentioned by Tabarani. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to make amal upon whatever we have listened to, and may He give us the tawfiq to send this to others, inshallah. Subhanallah bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayh.